What is up, all of my beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. It can't all be roses and sunshine. Sometimes you have to do a little maintenance. Stick around, stay tuned, and let's roll that intro.
Get in a car like this and smile, there's something wrong with you.
Again, fam, welcome back to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. I'm glad each and every one of you decided to stop back by one more time to see what's going on here at the garage, here at the compound. Now, in last week's video, if you watched, we actually got out and stretched our legs. We put down around 600 miles and just had an awesome time. But it can't always be roses and sunshine. Sometimes you got to bring your bikes back home and do some routine maintenance. And in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to do. Routine maintenance on both of these motorcycles. We're going to start off with the 24 roadglide with just a basic oil change. And when I say basic oil change, that's what I mean, basic. We're not doing all three holes, just engine only. Now, the engine oil's not even due yet. We still like about 1,500 miles before it's ready to be changed. However, I want to get that Sin 3 out of here. I don't feel like it's enough protection. I don't feel like that it's keeping the engine temperatures down enough, and I just want to replace it with something better. And if you're a follower of this channel, you know that I'm a huge advocate of AMSOIL. I love their products. I love their coverage. I love the way it actually brings down the temperatures of the engine. And no, I'm not sponsored by them, guys, at all. That's not saying that I wouldn't love to be, though. Wink, wink. I just know what works, and if it works, I pass it on to you guys. After the oil change, then we're going to get her washed and cleaned back up because she is trashed. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the skid plate. Now, if you haven't put a skid plate on, the factory hasn't either, so you're not going to have to mess with that. If you're interested in why I actually put a skid plate on the bike, well, if you'll go underneath your bike and look at all the hoses and all the wires that's hanging down on these particular bikes, you will realize that you need a little bit more security. So that's why I ended up with the Running Panther skid plate. It just snaps into place. It snaps right on your frame rail, and it's good to go. You guys have watched me put 4,000 hard miles on this. Yes, it's dirty on the inside, but it works. It keeps things protected, and that's what it's about. A lot of people freak out. You don't need that unless you're doing wheelies and all of this. Well, go look underneath the bike and then come back and tell me. Next on the list, we have a drain pan. Now, go up to your wife in the kitchen. Actually, don't go to your wife. Just go straight to the kitchen, find her turkey pan, and bring it downstairs. Make sure she's gone first. These come in handy. Listen, you won't have to jack up your bike. You won't have to try to deal with all the mess and the disaster. These slide under there easy. You can throw it away afterwards, or you can hold on to it, but it's just an easy all-around good deal. Next, I got 5 quarts of 2050 AMSOIL. You know the deal. We don't know how many quarts we're actually going to use. Some say 4.5, some say 475, others say the whole 5. We'll find out here today. Next, I did get a Harley-Davidson oil filter. This is not necessarily what I would do. I would run a Wix, but it was there. I was there, so here we are. Part number 627002968. Keeping us clean today, we have a leopard print comforter that we just laid casually on the floor. Next on the list is our drain pan. Throw that down there, and we do need our 5/8 socket. Also throw that down there. Now, I told you guys in the beginning, we're just going to change the oil only. We're not going to worry about the transmission or the primary. First thing you want to do is come over here and just crack this. Kind of set it up out of the way, but you want to be able to get some air flowing through here. Next on the list, you need to try to find out which plug that you need to remove. So there's 2 plugs underneath this bike that can be a little bit deceiving if you don't know. The first one will be the one that's right here at the very bottom right here. It's pointing straight down. This is for your transmission. Now, obviously, if you're going to do all 3 holes, you want to remove this one as well. But since we're not, and we're only doing engine oil only, you'll remove this plug. This plug is facing towards the front tire. that oil looks really, really clean, which it should be. It's not even time for it to be changed yet, but I'm gonna let it sit there and dribble for a few minutes, and let's go check out the drain plug. The plug is really clean. They're on the magnet, but there's something around it. I don't know if they've put tape on it or anti-seize, and it's made like, I'm not sure what that is, but it's actually all in the threads. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But other than that, I mean, it's good. Even the oil looks really, really clean. We are gonna replace this rubber O-ring as well, but yeah, you guys let me know in the comment section, what is that? Now, let's remove this oil filter. I do have an oil filter removal tool, a long extension, and my ratchet. And we're just gonna get in there and work this around a little bit and just twist it off. I do have some rags underneath as well. That way there's no mess on my garage floor. We can just throw everything away when we're done. And make sure the rubber gasket is still there on the oil filter. This next part, some people do, some people don't, but it's totally up to you and what you like. Myself personally, I feel better if it doesn't have a dry start. Now obviously you can't fill this oil filter completely up because it's got to go in sideways, so you're going to lose all of your oil, but you can put a little bit down in there and a little bit's going to help. Once you get a little bit in there the way you want, also dab a little bit of that fresh oil around the top of this ring. Now I'm gonna go in here and just wipe off, just kind of clean up a little bit. And I generally spray brake clean once I put the oil filter back on, but I don't have any brake clean handy. So I'm gonna use Schaefer's. I'm gonna spray it all down in here and make sure all the oil is cleaned up so we ain't got a big mess or oil drops in our garage, or maybe it splashed back on your tire. Just clean up really good. Make sure to do that. All right, we've got 4 quarts of oil in, plus what we put in the oil filter. Let's turn this girl on and let it run for a second or two. Check everything out, make sure the oil filter's not leaking, make sure the plug's not leaking, let everything circle and cycle through, and then we'll shut it off and check the oil. You guys earlier, we all know that there's a discrepancy on how much oil that you're actually supposed to put in these newer bikes. Some people say 4, some people say 4.5. It goes back and forth. For this particular bike, for the way I want it, now if it's anything like the previous bikes where they have oil consumption issues, I don't want to put it all the way full. So I went 2 dots down. It's got 2 lines. The top line will say full hot while on Jiffy stand. The bottom one will say full hot while upright. Now obviously I'm just one person. I can't stand this bike up and check the oil. So it is on Jiffy stand and it is hot. And like I said, I'm 2 marks down. Or 2 dots down. So with that being said, you're looking at 4 3/4 to 5 quarts of oil. Now you could probably go ahead and put the 5 quarts of oil in and be safe. But for me, like I said, I don't know about the oil consumption issue yet. We don't know a whole lot about these bikes. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. One thing that you do want to make sure that you do is write down your mileage on your receipt and hide that receipt somewhere to where it doesn't get lost. Now don't hide it so well that you lose it and forget, but you definitely wanna have that documentation just in case something happens. Now the next thing on the list was actually to wash this bike and get it cleaned back up, because our last outing destroyed this bike. It's got bug guts on it, there's mud somehow in the back, and in the front on the radiator shroud there's grease. I don't even know how that happens, but it happened apparently, so. But I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do none of that because there's a monsoon outside, it's pouring. Mother Nature decided to dump thousands of gallons of water today and, well, just all of that. Next on the list is this 2011 Street Glide. Now I know some of you that may be just stopping by, or others who just recently subscribed know nothing about this 2011 Street Glide. Didn't even know I had one, but it is just a plain Jane bike that I've turned into my own. I've put my blood, sweat, and tears in this motorcycle. I call it my forever bike, but if you watch me or watch this channel or know anything about me, you know that I get bored easy. I put all kinds of time and money into something, call it my forever, and then get bored with it, and then next week we'll sell it. So with that being said, even though I call it forever, who knows how long it'll be here. Now this bike, I came out from wintertime into springtime doing normal maintenance, went to start it and it would not start. Battery's gone. And you guys know, batteries are expensive. Something so small costs something so much. I couldn't justify paying that much money right at that time when I've got a 24 Road Glide that I absolutely love and roll the wheels off of. So I've put it off long enough. I finally went to my favorite lumber place, Menards of all places, and picked up a battery. $134 later, and well, it's now time to get this bike back out on the road. I gotta be honest with you, fam, it took a little bit longer to put in a battery than what it was supposed to, and it all had to do with those little nuts that goes inside of these batteries. If you don't know, there's a little nut, a little square nut typically, that goes on the inside underneath of these batteries. That way when you put your wires on with your screw down through, it'll pull that little square nut up and tighten everything down. However, it kept falling out. It kept going places. I had to get out the magnet, try to search for the nut. It was just a big ordeal. Then I finally remembered you can actually use a zip tie, run it up under that nut, take the flat pieces of the zip tie and actually secure it so the nut is up towards the top of the post. Then you can take your screw with all your wires and snug everything back down. Hold your ears, fam. Fresh oil change, fresh battery. Both bikes are ready to hit the road, but you guys know that I'm still going to favor this one more than this one. Even though this is my baby, I love this old girl. She's a sweetheart. She's been good to me. Anyways, fam, that's all I've got for you for this week's video. I love each and every one of you. If you haven't yet, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. There's a little thing out there called algorithm, and when you hit that subscribe button or when you go down there and give me a thumbs up, it lets other people know that, hey, this dude's got some okay content. Maybe you should check him out. And that's all I'm asking. I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for money. And subscribing and hitting that like button doesn't cost a dime. It's free to everybody. So maybe think about doing it. I love you, fam. I love each and every one of you. Are you ready? Let's do this. Until next week. Peace. I'm out.